The Prime Minister arrives back in country from Scotland. A Bahamian oceanographer urges climate stakeholders to do more, and health rules are subject to change. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper with your JCN News for this Friday, November 5th. Prime Minister Philip Davis signing a key document before his return to the Bahamas from the 26th United Nations Climate Change Summit, or COP26. The Prime Minister arrived at the Lynden Pindling International Airport this afternoon after a week-long conference in Glasgow, Scotland. During a press conference at LPIA, Prime Minister Davis revealed that he signed a document called a Nationally Determined Contribution, which now allows the Bahamas to sit around the table when critical decisions are being made. For example, the Bahamas can now sit at the table when the ministers of finance meet to discuss the issues of COP26. Prime Minister Davis noting that it is regrettable that such things weren't done during the past 4.5 years, whether through ignorance or neglect. It means that the Bahamas lost out on a number of potential benefits, especially in terms of financial support, which will only now become available. While attending the summit, the Prime Minister met with world leaders for both formal and informal meetings. The conference was attended by 120 world leaders, with the wider conference having approximately 25,000 delegates. The climate crisis is already here, Bahamian oceanographer Maya Delaney told officials at the COP26 Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, Scotland, recently, as she recalled the horrific devastation caused by 2019's Hurricane Dorian and similar storms that have affected countries in the region.
In the Caribbean, we are already losing lives, livelihoods, and our natural environment, crucial to the fabric of our culture. So when I sat in on those Climate Week meetings days later, I was stunned by the number of hollow and performative pledges by public and private sector alike. And I was stunned to see the dearth of discussion around ocean-based solutions. I'm optimistic, however, that this time will be different. This time must be different.
She adds that this conference is the first time the ocean has risen to the top of global discussion around climate, a situation she deems a massive moment.
And it should, because there is no healthy planet without a healthy ocean. And the ocean provides a catalog of immediately actionable, complementary solutions to get us to that healthy planet. Sustainable maritime transport, ocean-based renewable energy, refinement of sustainable aquaculture and fisheries. Together, this could get us up to a third of the way to that 1.5 degree future. And to the private sector stakeholders around the table, you have an integral role to play, and it's an exciting one. My interest in your role is exactly why I'm completing an MBA focused on finance. We need investment in emerging and growth markets that are dependent on healthy and resilient oceans and coasts. And thankfully, the investment opportunity and the innovation are off the charts.
She adds that the sustainable ocean economy is set to double in size by the year 2030, and the country's poised to become, quote, ocean economy superstars across the globe are emerging markets, where GDP is growing nearly 60% faster than that across developed markets.
And on innovation, we are past the proof of concept phase. We're now replicating projects. Opportunity abounds. So what's left? We need to scale. We need to get from tens of millions of dollars a year to at least billions of dollars a year. And those are my expectations of you. It is high time that commitments become substantive, actionable, and immediate, especially immediate, because as time runs away from us, so does the opportunity to thoughtfully and thoroughly act. And so upon conclusion of these meetings, I implore you to do more. Do not let it fade until this time next year, because in the meantime, I dread the likelihood that yet another record-breaking storm might literally level another community in my home country. I look forward to the measured progress that you will report at COP27. Thank you very much.
Representatives from countries around the world gathered in Scotland for the latest round of climate talks, the 26th Conference of the Parties, also known as COP26. The conference comes as alarm over the Earth's climate reaches a new high, with greenhouse gas emissions and global temperatures continuing to rise, fueling unprecedented disasters worldwide. All eyes are on whether negotiators can make progress on issues such as climate finance, coal use, and methane emissions. The government will have to pay out roughly $19,000 per month in order to implement COVID-19 mitigation guidelines at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Minister of National Security Wayne Munro telling reporters that it would be an unmitigated disaster if a COVID-19 outbreak was to occur at the facility.
We also met the correctional institution in a state where it was not being disinfected, sanitized daily, although the doctor was of the view it should be, and there was no coherent COVID mitigation strategy. Such was the strategy that you had quarantine in a cell 6 foot by 9 foot into which 4 persons were placed without any of them having been tested, even with a rapid antigen test. Since the 2 deputy commissioners have been returned to the correctional institution, the doctor, at my direction when I visited and in concert with the acting commissioner, has produced a COVID mitigation plan that is at the rate of costing of about $19,000 a month.
The minister says this is unbudgeted in the current national security budget, asks if there are plans to release those inmates who can possibly be released early because of good behavior to help with reducing the number of inmates at the facility. The minister responded with this.
Well, within my ministry is a prerogative of mercy committee. I have asked for a report of everyone who has applied for early release. I've received it. That is a matter I will discuss with the Prime Minister on his return to country to have a sensible strategy forward.
Health officials have reported more than 20,000 cases of COVID-19 since March of 2020. To date, there has been 1 report of COVID-19 at the prison facility. Meantime, 14 more COVID-19 deaths reported in the Bahamas on Wednesday. The Ministry of Health and Wellness, in its latest update, reported 10 deaths from New Providence, 5 females and 5 males, 2 females from the Berry Islands, a female from Cat Island, and a female from Inagua. The COVID victims range in ages from 35 to 86 years and died between October 9th and 17th. The COVID death toll now at 657, with 67 deaths still under investigation. As for new COVID infections in the country, health officials confirming 17 cases following 260 tests completed that day, 15 on New Providence and 2 on Grand Bahama. One of the new cases on New Providence has a history of travel within 14 days. Total cases in country now at 22,485. There are 318 active cases, 69 of them in hospital, 61 moderately ill, 8 are in intensive care. 157 people were reported recovered on Wednesday. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.